What's up, YouTube? If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Appreciate you. Got a couple news stories today for you. I wanted to kind of talk about that. They're stories that haven't really made a lot of the news. You may have heard about them, but or at least one of them you may have heard about. The other one maybe not, but they're not really super popular media stories because they're not really. We all know the media. They have their own agenda. They tell you what they want you to hear, and that's it. But anyway, the first one I'm sure you may have heard of, but the New Jersey councilwoman that was shot dead in her car right outside of her house. She was shot in her car, multiple gunshot wounds. She was a 30-year-old Republican black woman. I don't think the black woman should even matter. I don't even like to say white or black. It's just, but she was a black woman, 30 years old, Republican. And according to the mayor, she was just a dedicated member of the council committee and always committed to serve. And she really was trying to do some good. But it's pretty obvious. I don't know, I haven't heard anything anymore about the stories about what, if they've caught the guy or people or whatever, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to, because it's a congresswoman right outside her house in her car. I'm sure she was targeted by some higher ups that you're probably not going to ever really hear about. So we're probably not going to really hear about that. If it was random, hopefully they find him and serve him his justice that he deserves. And it's always sad, my condolences to her and her family and everyone. Shouldn't have to do that, but I don't know if it was targeted, then she probably had some information that she was trying to make public and somebody didn't like it. I mean, chances are if she was a councilwoman or Congress or any kind of public official like that, most likely it was targeted for something. She had some beef on somebody that she was about to bring to light, and they didn't like it. If it was random, like I said, if it is random, and it does happen randomly, you get followed home. If it happens to you, if you're getting followed, if you see you're getting followed, don't stop. Just keep driving. Drive around until either they run out of gas or you run out of gas, or drive to a police station, or if you know you're being followed, don't go home. Don't go home. If you don't know you're getting followed, there's nothing you can do except stay protected. If you're allowed to keep some kind of a firearm on you, have it in arm's reach away. If you're in your car, put it in your center console, keep it on your person, whatever you gotta do, keep it in arm's reach away. If you can't, like I said, just keep driving. If you know the person's following you, drive to a police station. Drive to anywhere open area with a lot of people or whatever. Drive somewhere that you're gonna feel more safe. If you don't feel safe driving home, because as soon as you get out of your car, for one, they're gonna know where you live, and just keep driving. And or keep some kind of a protection device on you. Preferably a long distance hole puncher. But if you can't, get whatever. Bear spray, a bat, a knife, if you can even carry a knife. Anything. A taser, a little stun gun taser, that'll at least slow them down. It won't stop them, but it could at least slow them down enough that you can get away, or whatever you gotta do. It just keep yourself protected. This place is getting crazy. But in this case, this news story about this Eunice Dwumfor, I probably killing that name, but she was probably targeted, and a lot of them are probably targeted. Even if it's random, you're probably targeted somehow. If somebody's following you, there's a reason they're following you and not somebody else. So keep that in mind. But like I said, it's if you do see you're getting followed, or if you drive home and you see somebody waiting for you at your house, keep driving. Don't stop. Hey, what's going on? If you think they're you think they're any kind of a threat to you when you get home, don't stop. Keep on driving. Keep yourself safe. Don't engage in a gunfight if you are carrying. Don't get out and just start shooting at them, but just get away. Leave. Make them chase you. Make them follow you some more. Go somewhere safe. Go somewhere safe. So, but yeah, it's getting crazy out there. If you have information on someone, try and keep it as anonymous as possible. That way, you're not a target. Try not to be a target. Try to be gray. Try not to. It's like when you're out flaunting your what you've got, your belongings, your whatever. People are gonna think you got money. People are gonna think you got something, or if you're gonna have, if you're gonna get into it, and it happens. People get in little arguments. People get in, and then you get followed home, and I knew a guy who wasn't really my friend, but I knew him. He was one of my friend's friends, a good friend of one of my friends, but they were doing some rap-off competition, and and somehow he got into it with somebody, and as he was leaving, some guy jumped in his car, and they drove for a minute, and he got shot through the back of the seat, and ended up killing him. And it's a sad deal, but things happen. You just got to be careful what you say and who you say it to. People take things the wrong way, and not everybody's gonna be that easy to just blow it off. Some people are like, "Oh, you ain't gonna talk that to me," but it happens. But you just gotta be safe. Careful what you say, careful who you say it to. If you have information on someone, try to keep it as anonymous as possible. If you're getting followed, don't go home. If you see something going on at your house, when you get home that doesn't look right, doesn't feel right, doesn't feel safe, don't stop, keep driving. Anyway, next story you may have heard, but maybe not. This is it's not really a big news story. It should be a bigger news story, but it's not, because I think this is the root cause of where a lot of this kind of thing starts. But it was a Florida girl. She was a 9-year-old Florida girl, was beaten pretty badly. I mean, as far as I know, she's just beaten up pretty badly, but by 2 older boys on a school bus. And it happened a lot, and the boys, they repeatedly punched her in their neck, head, face. They were just sitting there just wailing on her, and there was two adults on the bus. I mean, it's a crowded bus. It's from all ages all the way up to high school, from elementary all the way up to high school. So there's a lot of people. It's crowded. So I guess I kind of get it that way as far as the adults, because there was a bus driver and a bus aide, and they didn't do anything about it. They just, I don't know if they knew about it and just didn't do anything, or since it's like a crowded bus, maybe they didn't see it or know about it or something, but it was just, and it had been going on a lot. The girl's mom heard that this has happened more and more, that not necessarily to her daughter, but bullying going on. And it's kind of unfortunate that people have to go through that, just because, and I don't know anything about skin color. It didn't really say if it was anything like that, or if the girl had any kind of mental health issues or anything like that. So I don't know. It just, but people, these bullies, they target people that are smaller and younger and can't protect themselves, don't want to protect themselves, or whatever. But her mother is pressing charges on the school bus, or not the school bus, the school district, for the adults not doing anything. And I don't know, I haven't like I said, I haven't heard a follow up on how that's going, and I probably won't because it's just a small story and it's not really a newsmaker. You know, the media wants you to hear the cops killing the black guys or the white guys killing the black guys or the school shooting. That's what the media wants you to hear. That's what they all want you to hear. So this one probably won't get a whole lot of news on it, but she's pressing charges on the school district. But I think she also needs to press charges on the bus driver and the bus aide. At least the bus aide for sure, but the bus driver, because he has big mirrors up above him where he can kind of see what's going on. If he hears something going on, he can stop the bus and, you know. But I don't know if that's just included in the school district charges that she's pressing or what. But I personally also believe that she needs to press charges on the parents of these two kids, or few kids or whatever, however many there were actually involved. The story just said two. But it boils down to, you know, the parents, how these kids are being raised. And, you know, kids are nowadays are just running the house and doing what they want because their parents are so soft and can't discipline their kids. I think discipline is a good thing. I think kids need to be put in their place when they deserve it. I'm not saying I do that. I'm teaching my kids right so they don't need to be disciplined like that. But I think it all boils down to the kids. There's no discipline anymore. The parents let them get away with anything they want, and because parents are afraid that you spanked your kid, so they won't do it because they feel like they'll go to jail if they spank their kids. But when I was a kid, I got paddled in school. My parents paddled me. They gave me spankings. And you know what? I turned out okay. So it's not like it does lasting damage if you just give them a spanking. I mean, I'm not saying punch them and bruise them and beat, and you know, I'm not saying to do anything like that. But a good spanking sometimes goes a long way. You know, you're not abusing them. You're not leaving bruises on them. You're just giving them a good spanking. You know, this timeout thing doesn't seem to work. But I'm just saying it's bullying, and that's kind of where a lot of this starts. Where a lot of these kids, if you look at a lot of these school shootings, a lot of these kids they're either the bullies, or they're someone looking for attention, or they're the ones that got bullied a lot. It seems like they're always the quiet ones, the ones that get teased, picked on. You know, and not necessarily just in school, but there's like the Walmart shootings, this most recent California shooting. They get picked on, they get mistreated, they get abused, they get, you know, all that. And then you know, that's where it starts. That's the root cause of all this. You know, we need to put a stop to the bullying. You know, just because somebody looks different, just because somebody's not as smart as somebody or not as cool as somebody, or shouldn't give you a right to pick on them or to bully them or anything like that. It should just, you shouldn't have to, you know, kids shouldn't have to go to school scared to getting picked on, and you know, and that's the root cause of it, I believe. That's my thoughts on that. But yeah, and like I say, you're probably not going to hear much about these stories. It's just, you know, it's not their agenda. If it was a mass shooting, it would be all over the news. If it was another police brutality to a black guy, it'd be all over the news. You know, and best way to end racism is just quit talking about racism. You know, quit saying a white man killed a black man, or a black man killed a white man, or a white cop killed a black cop, or black man, or just say a man killed a man. This guy killed this guy, or this girl killed this girl, because, you know, blacks kill blacks all the time. Whites kill whites all the time. Blacks kill whites. Whites kill blacks. Cops kill whites. It's everybody. Just the ones that make the news are the ones involving the blacks as the victim, and that makes it seem like it happens more, but it doesn't. It doesn't happen anymore, and it's just they want a story. They want to be able to make it sound like there's a lot more going on than there really is. if they covered every single story, you would see that it's pretty evenly matched, a lot more evenly matched than they're making it sound as far as skin color. You know, blacks kill more blacks than anything, really. And, you know, if they just quit saying colors on their names and just say their name. It's like this Tyree Nichols case. It didn't get near the publicity that George Floyd did. I mean, I understand George Floyd, that was a bad case. The guy didn't need to do what he did to George Floyd, but there's a lot more differences going on than with the Tyree Nichols case. I think the Tyree Nichols case should have caused a lot more protesting than the George Floyd one did. Personally. Not because of skin color, just because of the actual case of what happened. George Floyd was fighting. He was bigger. He was a bigger man, and he was fighting, and he was on drugs, and he was just a lot bigger guy, and he was not, and the guy needed to keep him down somehow. Should he have been on his neck that long? Absolutely not. Was it good, right, that the guy died for it? No, absolutely not. But when I look at both cases, both videos, the Tyree Nichols one should have caused a lot more problems. It should have caused a lot more protesting. I protest that one. I'm not saying I would have protested, but if I was the protesting type, I would have protested that one way more before I protested the George Floyd one. Just because after watching the video, he was pretty much didn't have anything. He was just from what the videos see. I don't know what happened, and I personally feel that was also a kind of a targeted event. I don't know if he was just, it was just some kind of a deal where one or more of those cops just had a personal vendetta against him, and they were taking something out on him that was from the past or was from something totally different, and they caught him on the streets, and they just, because all the videos show that he didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, he ran at one point, but he was just trying to get away. He got tased. They dragged him out of the car and tased him, so he got up and ran. I probably would have done the same thing. But after that, when they finally caught up to him, he was just standing there defenseless, and they were punching him. That's not right. That one should have caused a lot more stir than the George Floyd. But anyway, like I said, the world's getting crazy. If you see somebody following you, keep driving. If you see something going on crazy at your house when you get home, keep driving. Don't stop. Unless you've got family members in there that need to be protected. There is that, because if there's family members in there, wife, kids, whatever, mom, dad, grandma, that could be in danger, then you might want to strategically pull around back and jump through the neighbor's yard or something to get there, but don't just get out and just start engaging in gunfire, risking yourself, not being able to protect those in the house. Have a plan. That's the biggest thing, is have a plan. If this does happen, just think in your mind, like, what would I do if this happens, and go through that plan and just keep that plan, because you never know when something's going to happen. You never know if you're going to get followed. You never know if somebody's going to be waiting for you at your house because they followed you before and now they know where you live, or anything. It doesn't matter. Just keep yourself safe. Stay aware. Stay protected. Stay safe. Subscribe. Thumbs up. Comment if you've heard these stories, or just comment on whatever. If I'm doing a bad job, need to do better, need to, whatever. Criticism, constructive criticism. Tell me what I'm doing right. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Comment the story. I'm interested in hearing what you have to say. If you're new, subscribe. Cost you nothing. If you're not new, thank you. Appreciate you. Love you. You're the reason I'm here. Couldn't do it without you. And appreciate you. And I will see you in the next one.